Warning, the following episode of the Blackwell podcast contains spoilers from all episodes of Life is Strange.
Hi, welcome to the Blackwell podcast, where we love Life is Strange more than usual commoners love to fight. I'm Jamie, joined again by Joey.
Hello.
And today we've got a bit of a debate on our hands.
We do.
We are going to see which ending is the best.
And we've asked this of pretty much all of our guests, but we've never really asked it of ourselves.
Yeah.
So
we never really
the time is now.
Speaking of now, I'm going to make a poll on Twitter for 30 minutes whilst we are talking through this episode.
We'll see what the people have to say.
Who do they prefer? Do they want to save the Bay, B-A-E, or do they want to save the Bay, B-A-Y? Now I'm going to go on for 30 minutes now whilst we are going to be talking.
Awesome.
Now, so to make this clear, this is going to be a debate for funsies.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be completely serious. We're just going to have fun with it. We don't want you to fight in the comments either. The little intro was a joke. Just don't fight. It's just a nice, civil conversation that me and Joey are going to have. If you want to join in, that's fine. Just type in the comments, but don't get aggro, please.
Right. In the words of the immortal words of Wyclef Jean, no fighting, no fighting.
Please, no fighting. Don't do that. I don't know who that is.
It's from the Shakira song, Hips Don't Lie.
Oh.
No fighting, no fighting.
I didn't know that. Oh boy, I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's how it goes. It's been a while since I've heard that song. I mean, I know it says no fighting, but anyway.
What a fucking tangent to start off with. Jeez. Anyway. Now, we should probably start talking about which side first. So we should probably go in alphabetical order.
Okay.
So we'll go with B-A-E. So you'll be defending Chloe in this case, Joey.
Alrighty. Well, yeah. So, again, to preface, I don't think that any one of the options is wrong, but personally, I am still very much BAE for a few different reasons. I think the main one being that after the 5 days that the game takes place, even though it's only 5 days, so much shit happens, and not only to Chloe but also to Max. And either ending is going to leave some extreme emotional turmoil. There's going to be some a lot of stuff to unpack over probably years for Max. And I just feel like that her losing her best friend and someone that she's in love with, if you go the route that I did, as exemplified by her journal entry there in the last little bit, where she says that she sees Chloe as more than friends. She doesn't know how Chloe feels about her, but she definitely sees Chloe. So maybe it is a bit selfish of a reason, but I don't know. It's for me, and this is a bit of a contentious opinion, I'm sure, but it's hard to really, I guess you can't really quantitate human life. You can't really it's hard to put a value on human life, and it's really can you actually delve into saying, who is more important than who? I don't think you can. And I think that's where, the fact that it isn't right or wrong. It's a choice that you make, and there's going to be consequences either way. But to me, the whole like you know, what is it? The trolley. What do they call that?
The trolley.
Yeah, but it's the word that goes after that. Like the philosophical morality thing.
You're talking
Anyway.
to me about philosophy. That's a big mistake. Just straight off the bat.
Well, okay, so we'll call it the trolley problem.
All right.
We'll simplify it that way. So for me, the trolley problem is like, it kind of exists in this like, amoral is not exactly the word, but like kind of outside morality. It's a gray area for me, and it's hard to really say, is it right or wrong, you know, because either way you're putting a value on human life, and you could say that, you know, you could go the Spock route, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, which, you know, does have some merit. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but for me, it's just, I can't really do it. Like, it doesn't, in my brain, it doesn't work that way. Like, and having a split decision, well, not necessarily a split decision, but having a decision that you don't have much time to ruminate on. I think I know what I would do, like personally, if I were like somehow in these like crazy circumstances and I had to choose. It probably would be like, you know, I'm not leaving without you. I'm not leaving here without you.
Yeah.
Like, so that's like, I think that's like probably the biggest thing for me about it. And I don't know. It's like, it's kind of hard to
It's kind of hard to put to words, really.
right. Yeah. Because like I said, it does kind of exist in this like moral gray area. And some people I mean, it's very polarizing. It's very polarized. I think the episode was aptly named, because it is a very polarizing event, and it's very polarizing, like moral conundrum. That's what you do. And I want to say too that like, in choosing Chloe, I don't think that it's any more important. Her life is any more important than anyone else's, other than it being more important to Max, I guess, in that decision. Another thing too, that the way I look at it is, you look at Max. She's 18. She's 18 years old. She's been through a fucking hell of a week. And you're like tossing this kind of decision on her. Like, you know, it's easy to sit back where you're completely removed from these circumstances, and these circumstances are completely like fantastical. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word.
It is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
I think I've used that. I think I've used it before and asked this exact same question, but I'm just going to keep using it. Yeah. The situation is like, you know, it's not in the spectrum of reality, at least in our reality, because time powers, as far as we know, don't exist, and as far as we know, don't cause huge tornadoes threatening to wipe out an entire town. So it's kind of easy to, you know, to sit back and take where you have time to like evaluate. But like for me, like to truly empathize with Max in that scenario is like, man, you're just scared. Like 18 years old, you've never really experienced too much, you know? I mean, you moved, so that's like a big life thing, you know, moving states and all that, moving away from your friends and then moving back. But other than that, she really hasn't really like experienced too much in life. And even if she had, like, nothing really prepares you for that type of thing. And so I just felt like after all the shit that they've gone through together, after all Max has done to, you know, to see Chloe alive and well and happy, it just, to me, it just feels like in that moment, like Max would definitely choose to save Chloe, and she's gonna have to live. They're gonna have to live with the very serious consequences of that, just as Max would through the other. But at least, like I said in my initial point, at least they're together. At least they're not, because how the fuck is Max gonna talk about like
any of
all
that
right,
shit?
Therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, what have you. You go in there and say, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up because in this sort of like temporal universe, alternate reality, I rekindled with my friends. And that I haven't seen in
5 years.
5 years, yeah. And over the course of 5 days, I fell in love with her, and
she kept dying.
Shit, like I had to save her. I had to do all this crazy shit. There was 2 moons, like all this crazy shit was happening. Whales and birds were dying left and right. It was a literal fucking nightmare, and so I'm pretty fucked up from it. And they're gonna be like, "Whoa, what? I've heard some shit. I'm a therapist. I'm a psychiatrist. I've heard some shit." But you're talking about you had time powers and you rewinded time to save your friend's life, and then you had to decide, and like. That's a shitty resolution for our beloved Max, in my opinion. Like, that sucks.
I wouldn't anyone to talk to.
Exactly.
Without sounding
Exactly. And I do recognize the merit of the alternative of sacrificing Chloe, but I don't know. And life is about making decisions. Sometimes you have to make decisions really quick, and they're not always the right decisions. They're not always the wrong decisions. Sometimes there is no right or wrong decision. It's just a decision that you make, and good or bad, you have to live with the consequences through it. And I know where I in Max's shoes, and even just empathizing with Max, personally, I would not, like, I would want someone there. I would need someone there to help me through that shit. And then for Max, like, she deserves better than to have to, like, and Chloe deserves better. And I know that's like a popular meme phrase, but it's true. Like I just felt like they deserve to be together, and good or bad, be the hero or the anti-hero. Like, I felt like it was important for them to be together.
Pretty solid argument you gave there, Joey.
Well, I hope so.
It was. You almost won me over, because I was listening to your points. I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. And I was like, I was actually agreeing with you at some points and actually fucking helping you, like, backing you up and everything. I was like, what am I doing? I need to stop, because I'm gonna just dig myself deeper. So you gave your points, and I guess I have to give mine, right?
Yeah, let's hear them. Let's hear.
Now, I know you said it's not fair to put a price on human life. Mm-hmm. No pun intended.
No pun intended, yeah.
Unfortunately. However, unfortunately, I'm gonna hate myself for saying this. I really am. But Chloe wasn't exactly the most productive person in society.
Yeah.
And if you compare it to both timelines in each parallel, I guess, more shit would have got done if Chloe was dead.
That's I know, it's a harsh way to put it. It's a harsh way to put it, so let's unpack it a little bit.
Okay. Alright, so what I'm trying to say is, okay, so basically the occurrences of Life is Strange from episode 1 to 5, if we're going by save Chloe route, they wouldn't exist. Like, all the bad moments wouldn't happen. It was proven in the save Arcadia Bay ending, where Chloe gets shot. That's obviously a negative, but Nathan gets arrested, gets stopped by David, interrogated, he gets arrested, so does Jefferson, so Jefferson gets justice as well. As well as Kate doesn't commit suicide because she'd know she isn't going crazy at that point. That's a really big one for me. Kate still lives. My precious Kate. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about it and got emotional. David and Joyce's marriage would probably be closer than it actually was. In a weird way.
Right. Yeah.
They'd obviously find Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because of the photos in the darkroom and whatnot. See, I'm trying to see what Nathan wouldn't die. That's a big plus.
Right.
What else is there? Yeah, and yeah, that's really mainly it I have on like all the occurrences on Life is Strange. They kind of undo themselves if Chloe dies. Basically, more positives come out than negatives from the other ending, as well as closure. Because I feel like if you chose the Save Arcadia Bay ending, it kind of gives you a bit more closure because you knowing the conversation that you have with Chloe on the rooftop, she's kind of content with everything and kind of knowing that she said those words, that you kind of are okay with this happening and knowing that whatever happens, she'll be there. And it's as emotional as it is, it's got to be done, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not winning here. I'm not. I know I'm not. But like I said, Jefferson, he gets justice. Because if you save Chloe... Now here's the bit of a problem that I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the Save Chloe ending. You don't know if David is dead. Oh no, not David, Jefferson is dead or not.
Right, yeah.
Because that's like the big kind of uh-oh that I have. It's because Max goes back in time to warn Chloe from not going into the Vortex Club.
Mm-hmm.
Which they go to David's. Well, they basically talk to David, sort him out and everything. And Max isn't in the dark room at the time that David breaks in, meaning the events won't happen where you get to defend David.
Right.
Meaning Jefferson could be alive and could be just hiding out in there with David being held captive. That's the problem. One of the problems I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a kind of a big problem I have. Believe me, it took me about an hour to fucking think of that.
So just kind of the ambiguity of that whole situation there.
Mm-hmm. Knowing as well as Victoria could be dead. That's determinant. Nathan could be dead.
Right.
Kate could be dead. Rachel's dead. Chloe's also dead. So I might as well kind of minimize the casualties, I guess. Even though it's kind of a weird way, probably not a good way to do it. As well as with the Save Chloe ending, with Max's time powers kind of causing more trouble, right? Kind of preventing Chloe's death. It doesn't seem like it would stop at the storm.
You mean you think that like the shit would still keep going?
Probably, yeah. Because think of it like a tidal wave, right? If you try and stop it, it's still going to ripple around. And ultimately it could end up being bigger.
Well, I mean, eventually that storm does die down, as we see in the ending from the, it dies. It's I'll hit on it a little bit later because I don't want to I'll save my counterpoints and any other like tangents until after you're done. But
I'm pretty much done right now. There's 2 points I want to leave till last, but I'll just save those towards the end of the debate. So you can just go ahead with the contrast points right now.
Before I do, I got to thinking about something.
Okay.
And this, I'm sure this isn't a thought that people haven't had before or anything like that, but I mean, this isn't like I said, this is sort of just something I came up with. I just thought of today even. Okay. It seems kind of like and I'm sure it could be coincidental, it could be intended, I'm not sure, but it seems kind of like representative of like the 5 stages of grief. And there's 5 episodes, and you have the ultimate, you have the final one being acceptance. The final stage of grief is acceptance, and
I can't
if you choose the sacrifice, the 5 stages of grief are denial and isolation, they're anger. 3 is bargaining, 4 is depression, and 5 is acceptance. Now, I don't think that them being 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 means that for it, like that's how everyone goes through them, because I know it's not.
Yeah.
But so with the sacrificing Chloe, that being like, I guess, the ultimate final acceptance of loss, I guess.
Okay.
And so thinking of it that way, it's interesting to see it through. It becomes more of the story becomes, I guess, like more allegorical, thinking of it that way, which in turn does lend credence to the whole closure thing. And I won't argue. I definitely have no argument against that ending being the most, offering the most closure, having the most the least ambiguity, and just it's the, as I mentioned before, it's the from the comment that I read, it is like the movie, the storybook ending. Mm-hmm. I guess the thing about Life is Strange for me that made it so that put such a huge impression on me early on was I guess just how human it is.
Yeah.
And you in life, you don't always, rarely do you have any sort of poetic justice. Rarely do you have cut and dry closure. So as a story, I think it ends it well. It brings it all full circle, and you essentially go through the 5 stages of grief. You help Chloe go through the 5 stages. You help Chloe suss out, kind of unpack what she's been dealing with alone for the 5 years. Right. Yeah. It's hard to speak on because so little is known. But the thing of it is with Rachel's disappearance, that kind of, when it happened, it kind of I can see how that kind of caused Chloe to regress. Well, I mean, it does, because yet again she feels like she's being left alone. She's been unduly isolated, and the people that she cares about are always taken away from her by life. And so going through the 5 episodes, going through the 5 days with Chloe, we do help her I guess reach a certain level of maturity.
Yeah, because she does seem I'm sorry that I'm siding with you here, but from episode 1 to 5, she does seem she's getting a lot more mature,
right?
Especially towards episode 5, because yeah,
I think knowing that helps me cope with the sacrifice Chloe ending, I guess, in the sense that we at least know in one timeline she at least gets that sort of resolution. She gets to go through that, and she gets to go through it with Max. But counterpoints about being a productive member of society, I feel like that is
I felt a bit rough saying that, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's definitely something that you could, especially on first glance, you could say, you could see, but I feel like that isn't really fair. I mean, she's not like a complete shit kicker of a person,
I know,
destroying the town.
Oh, believe me, I regretted it as soon as I said it, Joey.
Well, I just my counterpoint on that is, at least with if you sacrifice Arcadia Bay, at least you give her a chance to grow. You give Chloe a chance to grow into her, to realize how she could be, you know. And yeah, I mean, I don't think like the quote unquote like, and I'm not dragging you or anything here. I'm just going through my counterpoint is that like the quote unquote like productive member of society is kind of bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
As far as marriage goes, as far as like Joyce and David being closer, there's a possibility. Yeah. There's also a very, very real possibility that it's going to put even more strain. Joyce having to not only losing her husband, but also losing her daughter, having to bury her husband, whom she loved very much, and her child.
And 5 years, between 5 years as well.
Right. That's not going to. I don't know if David is possessing of the emotional and mental maturity to really be a good
support.
I guess like yeah, a good I forgot the word I was going to say, but yeah, like he's not going to be good support. He may be. I mean, I won't say that he wouldn't be, but and last on hitting on the ambiguity thing, to me that felt really more human. I'm going to get a little bit personal here.
It's okay.
I had a friend who was very close to me at the time, and for life happens. We kind of just a bunch of stuff happened. I won't get too personal, but a bunch of stuff happened. We were really close at the time. A bunch of stuff happened, and her and I like ended up just kind of parting ways. There was just too much going on with what was, and I found out last year, like kind of late last year, that, which I knew she had, she actually had lupus, but I found out late last year that she had died, and I really like wasn't sure because we didn't end on the best of terms. There was a lot of on both sides. There was a lot of things that just were not amicable about, the parting. And the point of all this is there's just it was a very real possibility that I never would have even found out about it, and like time would have passed, and I wouldn't have thought anything about it. I would have thought she was just going on with her life, etc. And it feels weird, and I don't really like. I still like. It's still kind of hard because of how close we were, even though it didn't end with us being. Yeah, we were still like extremely, extremely close. And so there is just sort of that like human element. There is like.
I think the question of like, what if? I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is that question of what if. There is a lot of thoughts going through my head about her death when I found out, and I think the original title kind of for Life is Strange before they changed it was What If, and I think that kind of like the ambiguity of the ending of sacrificing Chloe is, I would say, more close to a real human, than having resolution. Not always, not always either or, but at least in my personal experience. So I definitely I definitely understand and definitely can rationalize. It's more, I guess, of sort of a logical versus an emotional decision, whereas sacrificing Arcadia Bay is kind of a logical. You can quantitate, like you can go through, not quantitate, but you can go through and list the reasons why it's as close to the right thing to do as possible. And it's more of a logical thing, and then it's more of an emotional decision. I understand too that the whole thing of the game is about growing and about healing, or growing, healing, understanding, learning. That's huge, and that is a huge part of life. That is one of the biggest parts of life, and but I guess there's just some things that me personally I would be unwilling to let go of. And as far as like how I interpreted Max, Chloe would be one of those things that she wouldn't be able to let go of.
Because
So
I guess what you mean. I guess I understand what you're saying. Because
Mhm.
in the new life that Max has in like Blackwell Academy, the only thing that she really has as a familiar, as like something that's familiar, is Chloe. And since if you chose that ending, the only way, like that's the only thing that she really has is just Chloe left.
Right.
So I understand where you're coming from.
And this this is one of my weaker points, which is why I didn't use it in my main argument. But another thing with the ambiguity is there's no, because of the nature of it, there is like, you can't say for sure. There's a good possibility that like most everyone is dead, but there's also, it's equally as probable. Well, I won't say equally. It's also probable that quite a few people survived, were able to get out of the town. Of course, we see that there are some casualties. Excuse me. We see that there are some casualties as that before they drive off, as they're going through Arcadia Bay. But I just feel, and this might just be kind of like weak justification, that there was probably a good chance that even some more of our prominent characters like Kate would have survived, because Kate was at the hospital. We know the hospital wasn't like directly in town, and also we know that her parents were supposed to pick her up that Friday morning.
Yes.
So there's a possibility that she was, safe, was removed from Arcadia Bay.
That's what I hope for, anyway.
That's what we can hope for, yeah.
That's only 1/3 of a possibility, right? Though.
What do you mean?
Well.
What are the two? What are the other two?
The sacrifice Chloe option, which Kate lives, and then there's the sacrifice Arcadia Bay option, where Kate is dead.
Kate dies, right? Yeah.
Which is kind of a bit of a, I don't really want to think of. So let's just assume that Kate survived that incident in episode 2.
And that's what adds a lot of gravitas to, and what adds a lot of like, man, this is gonna be like, if we do this, there's some like serious consequences and connotation to the decision of saving Chloe, is because after all we've done through the week, not only for Chloe but also the people, all the other people that you can choose to help, saving Kate, if you talk her down, that type of thing.
Yeah, like trying to be
it feels like
Victoria and everything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then it's like, well, if you choose this, you kind of just erase everything that you've done because you kill them all. So that is definitely a big stone on a big weight on the shoulders, I guess. I was trying to find a better
bit more of
metaphor, but
a bigger obstacle to overcome if you want to choose the sacrifice Arcadia Bay ending.
Right.
I guess that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I had I kind of lost my train of thought. I had something poetic to say, but oh well. I'll save my eloquence for another day.
Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, I have a point here which is really fucking dumb.
But let's hear it.
Ashley Birch said she would sacrifice Chloe, so you should too.
Well, okay. A counterpoint. counterpoint, Christian Divine said, and he's the writer, that both exist.
Yeah, so it pretty much makes my
So-
point invalid. So I've kind of screwed myself over here. But I thought that was a pretty good argument, and that was the point that I said to you a couple of days ago. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking get you with this, and you just instantly flipped it around on me, you motherfucker.
I think, I mean, there is, I think the importance, even though we've had this debate, and even though we've chosen our sides, and we soon will get to what the community has chosen as that is ready.
It is ready.
This still is a very personal experience for every single person, even though the story is mostly the same. You can do multiple playthroughs and just uncover every little stone. It's not an infinite world. There is a finite amount
Of things you can do.
things you can do, things you can discover, choices you can make. It's still,
Your decision.
regardless of that, is very much a personal journey for every single person that's played it. And every single person that's played it has come to their own decision of what was right for them. And so even though we've had this debate, I do want to bring up again that there is no right or wrong.
Yeah, it's all in good fun, really.
Mhm.
And Christian Divine said both exist, and he was the writer, so
Right.
both are canon.
And yeah. So maybe one day get to find out what Michelle and Raul and Luke and maybe even Jean-Luc, we can understand what the original. Of course, they'll never tell us, you know, if there's a canon in it. But I think they've pretty much touched on what we've said, and there is no right or wrong. It's just what you choose.
There is no right or wrong. Only save Chloe. Wait, save Arcadia Bay. Fuck. Save Arcadia Bay. So, should we get into these poll results? Because I think we've pretty much touched everything, right? That I can think of.
Yeah, let's do it.
Kind of a short debate, about 20 minutes or so, but 30 minutes. But I still think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
can I confess something right now though?
Let's hear it.
Public that I would still save Chloe, but for the purpose of debate, I had to look into actual points of saving Arcadia Bay. So that's why it was kind of hard for me to pull points, and I apologize for it in advance to anyone who chose Arcadia Bay. But holy fuck, reading those points, it kind of made me question my fucking choices.
Well, we've also heard from our guests and stuff over the past couple of years, almost couple of years. Some very valid and good points that actually had me kind of with as far as sacrificing Chloe. So I think debate and conversation is good as long as that is what it is. Yeah. As long as it is debate and conversation and not
an argument.
Yeah. Anyway,
so we should get into these poll results.
Yes. 151 votes.
I have 2 results here because I did a little bit of research. And I went back onto the final choice of the actual Life is Strange game to compare it to our audience. So, should we go for our audience, or should we go for the actual game results first?
Well, let's do the game first, and then we'll see how it compares to.
So surprisingly, only 47% of people chose to save Chloe. Whilst 53%
That's gone down.
Arcadia Bay. Yeah. I kind of refreshed it a couple of times just to make sure it was the same number as of I did it like 2 hours ago. So it might have went up and down a percentage. But for our audience, 64% people chose to save Chloe.
Right.
Whilst 36 decided to save Arcadia Bay. I mean, that's one hell of a contrast.
That is. So let me do some real quick. Let me punch some numbers real quick here. So we got 151 people total that voted. We ran the poll for 30 minutes. So we had around 54, 55 people that chose to sacrifice Chloe, and so that would leave us around 90 something.
Yeah.
Hang on. I thought I could do that in my head, but I cannot.
Just get the other number and take it away from 151.
Well, I thought I could do that.
What was the other number? I'll do it.
It's we had around 96, 97 people vote for Save Chloe.
All right.
Um,
Still, that's one hell of a contrast. So I think if you're okay with it, we call this debate a bit of a tie.
yeah. Another interesting thing too, or at least another thing with the game itself to take into consideration earlier on. Now I would say it's probably closer to what all the players think about it. But earlier on, I imagined it being more of a like almost 50-50 slot because people getting one ending and then going back and getting the other ending.
Yeah.
And so that kind of skewing, because I mean, there might be something in the algorithm of populating that percentage that prevented that. But if not, then that would kind of skew it a bit. But yeah, I mean, across the two our poll
And
and
the actual game results itself, I mean, oh boy.
do you want to read? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, do you want to read some of the comments?
Oh yeah, sure. I didn't realize we had comments, so on the Twitter poll. So Cardia C _ said, "I will never sacrifice Chloe. Still never seen it either. Didn't plan to." Me and Joey have difficulty watching that ending, to be honest, because we tried watching a Let's Play a long time ago and we had to stop it in the bathroom, didn't we?
Yeah, it's right as the
gunshot.
It really fucking hits right as the gunshot happens, and you see
Max fucking curdle into a ball.
Yeah, her recoil from the shot. I realize if we gotta just like, oh yeah, you've never watched it, well let us fucking spoil the shit out of it. But to be fair, this is a very spoiler heavy podcast.
Oh yeah, we don't have the spoiler warning in the audio. We've never had that. Oh my god.
Have we not?
No.
Oh
shit.
Oh well,
I know what I'm doing today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can maybe fix that if you'll send me the audio file. I'll go back over spring break and splice it in to the audio and then re-upload all of it.
Whoops. Sorry,
we'll fix
everybody.
We'll fix that. Zariel, and I'm gonna go with that because as hard as that is, for me to say, their actual handle is even more for my dumb brain. It's been almost a year and a half since I completed it, and I'm still unable to decide which one I prefer. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. It really is. I mean,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's just saying, it was difficult because how long did it take you to choose ultimately? Because it took me like 20 minutes.
When I did it?
Yeah, the original ending. Like when you first
it was pretty quick.
Episode 5. Right.
It was pretty good. I'm a very emotional person. Even like I try to be rational and logical, and sometimes I can do it. But at that thing, it was like, no fucking way I'm doing this without you, Chloe. Like that was like the thought that went through my head. Like no fucking way. Like, and so it was a pretty quick save Chloe. And then the next day I went back and watched the other ending and fucking cried so hard.
Yeah. Oh boy, I remember you messaging me when I was in the hospital. I was like, yeah, this ending's rough. I was like, can't wait to play it. And then I got like, oh no. Because I wasn't allowed to get stressed that weekend.
Yeah, that was a bad weekend to finish it up.
Yeah. Oh boy. Originally I chose Save Chloe, as you do. Mm-hmm. I was curious. I said, so that ending was pretty nice. What about the other one? And yeah, I regret it. No, I'm not. I don't want to watch that ending again. So,
I do want to say something.
Sure.
As cliche as it is, for Chloe to say, "And don't you forget about me, Max Caulfield." To go the whole
Breakfast Club kind of thing.
Breakfast Club. I fucking love that, and that was so in character for Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe, like in that situation, she's still gonna try to be like
As cool
kind of
as possible.
snarky and all that, and she kind of made up her mind, and she knew like, or she felt that was the right thing for Max to do, and for Max to do it, and I fucking loved that. I loved that so much. That was like one of the best like what's the word? Jesus. What is the word when you reference? That was one of the best references, like the best use of a reference. As far as like having like just it made me cry too, because it was like bittersweet. God, I fucking love this game. Anyway, I was laughing a bit earlier because I had Errol's response, what kind of question is this? I'm already crying. And it's like, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So Jacob said, Jacob Hallberg, which is Swedish Gamer 322, said, on my first playthrough I saved Chloe because I love her way too much. Second playthrough I sacrificed her and immediately regretted it. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Oh, God. Riku _VA. Riku is tired. It hurt me to vote Bay, BAY, because I wish I could save both. Man. Don't Nod freaking ripped our hearts out and stomped them. Just I had a big old stomp fest on our hearts. And then Becky Gilbert said that never felt so emotional playing a game in all their life.
Oh boy.
Oh, and then just a comment vote, I guess. BAE over BAY.
I know. By Smooth Reef, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. What is it?
I was thinking, the Futurama, the Professor Farnsworth. There's like where he's like, "Oh, I've made myself sad."
Yeah.
That's like constantly
That's us.
like, yeah, that's like every episode of this. It's like, even when we do like some of the funnier, more lighthearted stuff, it's still like, "Oh, I've made myself sad."
Yeah. Oh boy, it's fucking rough.
Alternate title for Life is Strange.
We've made ourselves sad.
But speaking of lighthearted,
we should probably move on to a segment that we haven't had in a while. We shall move on to the Everyday Hero segment.
let's say this is one of our first episodes listening.
Oh, really?
What is Everyday Heroes?
So, Everyday Heroes is a segment that we have towards the end of the podcast where we highlight content from the community, whether it be fan art, cosplay, videos, music, anything of the sort. We will probably feature in a later episode. So we should probably kick right into it, right? Joey, what have you got for us?
So this person is actually pretty new to the fandom. I kind of like sniped this shit hard when I saw it on Twitter and contacted them on Tumblr. When I saw it was like someone retweeted it, and I was like, initial thought was like, oh my fucking god, I gotta have this. It's so adorable. It's like one of the like, it's so freaking cute. I don't know what it is. I don't know, like, I'm like big on the real cutesy shit. I don't know, like, I just love cute shit. And this thing is freaking adorable. It's actually an animated GIF. I say GIF because it's graphics interchange format.
Okay.
And I don't give a shit what the creator said or what anybody. Don't fucking at me. It's GIF.
It's GIF.
It's their price filled piece. God, it's so freaking cute.
I know.
It's so freaking
I'm
cute.
trying to think of what it reminds me of, to be honest. Like the style, but I can't think of anything really that reminds me of it. It's like new.
Yeah, I mean it's got the whole like, you know, like the whole like chibi thing going on. God, dude, I'm like kind of gushing at how like freaking adorable this is. I'm watching the GIF now.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. You know, it's Chloe taking the selfie and all. It's just so sweet. It's so like pure and wholesome, and not to mention too. I love the fucking like watercolor background and just the blending of colors and the light, the lighting on it. The way that they've like captured the light, I'm always amazed at light work in digital art and painting and stuff like that. Even more so than like good use of light in photography, because it kind of like, as good as that is, it blows me away when it's in like more of a handcrafted medium. The lighting is so fucking good, including the shadows, like the shadows of the legs on the grill of the truck, and the way that the light is kind of like refracted in the windshield and all that. Like, God, it fucking owns. It's so good.
There's one thing that I really love about this image, and it's so fucking dorky. It's amazing. It's Max holding up the peace sign.
Oh, I know.
I mean, but I don't. There's what I'm fucking Chloe putting the fucking duck face as well. I mean, it's so unlike her, but it seems like she'd do it anyway, just for the hell of it.
Right. And Max's little smile, like she closes her eyes and her like big smile.
Yeah.
Man, this is so like I said, when I saw this, I was like I think it was like within 30 seconds of seeing it, I followed the artist on Twitter and then like immediately found them on Tumblr to message them to
hey, I want to use this now.
Yeah. So Neo Kiri, thank you for letting me use this image, and welcome to the fandom.
Yeah, we hope you stay. Please stay. We need to share our suffering.
And that is neokiri.tumblr.com.
Yes, we will put the link in the description in YouTube.
Yes. You've got a really good one too.
Damn right I do. So this is I couldn't really find an official title for it, so I just went by the description of the image, and it's The Clash in Supermax by Octopuff on Instagram. Oh boy. I want you... So, to people who don't know, I'm a huge fan of the CW series The Flash. So when I saw this, I freaked the fuck out. Because I've always said... I think I've said to you, right, Joey, that's like, if I ever see artwork of like someone from Life is Strange as the Flash, I will freak the fuck out.
Yeah, you have.
And as soon as I saw this, I was like in my seat, just like shaking. I was like, I was actually shaking. I was really fucking happy to see this. Because the Flash is so good, and it's one of my favorite TV shows. And seeing Chloe, out of all people, as the Flash, it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And like seeing Supermax, obviously, because that's her nickname in the game, and you get to see like graffiti of Max in that outfit. It's lovely, and I love the vintage comic book cover as well.
Yeah. I was gonna hit on that if you didn't. But I would gladly pay 35 cents. I would pay a lot more than that for that comic, but
I would pay 350 cents. Yeah,
Um,
I love it.
the all the little like I love like the what do you call it? Like, how would you describe this? Because it's not like a straight crossover, but it's kind of like I guess like an alternative style. You know, it's like kind of like a different medium. I don't know how you would describe it, but I do really appreciate. I guess like the alternate, like seeing characters kind of reimagined to fit like other sort of
Other universes. Like,
yeah, and like other sort of like styles and all that. Um,
Mhm.
so I do. We actually had another like kind of comic book thing, and
Yeah, a while ago.
I remember us saying like, people please make more.
Yeah, because
Because
we
we both
really
loved
liked
it,
it.
and ask and we shall receive, I guess. Even though I know this wasn't made for us, but we
Believe it
still
or not,
received it.
that person who did
Hmm.
the who did that that Max artwork that we mentioned, that was Q-Tori.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wanted to mention that as well.
Um,
But this one we get the Clash. Yeah.
that yeah, it works so well. I just I want to like fold back the cover and read more of
Yeah.
the adventures of Supermax and the Clash.
Yeah, the Clash faster than a speeding bullet. Oh. Oh no.
What?
I've made myself sad.
Oh, speeding bullet. Well, okay. In this reality,
She is.
she is faster than a speeding bullet. So
Yeah.
problem solved. Shoot away at that bumper, Chloe. Um,
Oh, boy.
yeah, like you said, the like vintage comic style. I really love.
I love that there's minimal shading too.
Yeah, the colors works like kind of like the pasteled um, colors work really well. It has like a really they fucking nailed what they were going for.
I
Like
mean, I guess the best way to put it is like there's hardly anything on there, but the actual image itself is full of stuff.
right.
It's like minimalist, but it has maximum potential and effort and absolute awe that it gives me. It's amazing.
And even like sort of the fading of the colors and the fonts even
Yeah.
it works so well. Like Octopuff really freaking nailed it. Like they knocked it out of the park with what they were going for here, and it is awesome. Yeah, we had some good entries. Not that we don't always have good entries, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
well, these weren't entries. We got them, but
We asked to use these artwork. And speaking of artwork, thank you Octopuff for letting me use that.
thank you, Octopuff. That's awesome.
And
Great job.
if you want to submit artwork for us in the future so we can showcase it on the show, please send it to us via email at blackwellpodcast@hotmail.com. You can direct message us on Twitter at blackwellpdcast. There's Tumblr.
Tumblr.
There's lifeisstrangefans.com. There's a simple form that you can follow just to submit it that way. Make sure it's your own artwork, though.
Yeah.
Because in the past, we got a few submissions that weren't really... what's the word? It wasn't theirs to showcase.
Right. Well, we appreciate always seeing that. It's you know, the artists, and the cosplayers, the photographers, the renderers, what have you, the musicians. They put a lot of work into it, and it is theirs to decide whether they want to have it showcased or not.
Give credit to where credit's due, I guess, is what we're trying to say here. So, yeah.
But we would love to see. We'd love to see your artwork if you make it. We'd love to see your cosplay if you do it. Your renders, your songs, your videos, whatever you make.
We want to see it.
We want to see it.
I'm guessing that's probably a good way to end the episode. Now, quick update. We ended the application form on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be reading through them very shortly. We'll be contacting people through email within the next week?
Weekish, yeah.
Weekish. So if you get an email from blackwellpodcast@hotmail.com, just keep an eye out for that
Mm-hmm.
within the next week or so. And we'll let you know what happens from there.
We got a lot.
Yeah.
We got a whole lot. We got our work cut out for us.
28, sudden,
23?
20. Should we say the actual number? Because I know it.
Oh.
Actually, no.
We'll give a ballpark. In the 20s.
20s, yeah. It's in the 20s.
Compared to the 3 that we got the last time we did this.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Thank you for your interest, for everyone who applied.
Yeah. We will be contacting everybody. We should say that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who applied,
Yeah.
we will contact you at some point.
Yeah, we will get back with you, yay or nay. Maybe some people kind of have an idea. What we're going to do is now we're going to go through the applications and potential people we're going to start interviewing. We're going to do that. So this will be a bit of a slower process. It won't be quick. But also we're going to, do our best to expedite it as much as possible.
Should we give details, or should we just throw them in the deep end? Give them a bit of details?
Well, I mean, when we contact them,
Okay.
we'll let them know. We'll let them know what the deal is. But just as kind of a quick update on the sitch.
That's jeez, Joey. That was bad. What are we in the 90s?
Perpetually stuck there. Please help.
We are running in the 90s. Anyway.
All right.
That's a wrap on this episode. We're not sure what the next episode is going to be. It probably will be in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're trying to.
We're gonna see.
Schedule.
We'll see if it'll be something involving potentially. It depends on where we're at with the co-hosts and all that. But it will be in 2 weeks. We will do it. We'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll make us. As always, if you're on YouTube listening to us, like, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada. If you're on iTunes or SoundCloud or RSS or whatever Android caster you use, give us some love. Tell your friends who like Life is Strange if they haven't heard of us. We love validation.
Yeah.
I do, at least. I need it. I thrive on it. Anyway, we'll see you in a couple weeks, folks.
Yep. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see everyone in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.